This cute jute bag is the perfect accessory for summer, and it works up in just a couple of hours. You can customize it with tassels or pom-poms in any color to really show off your style, and I'm going to show you how to make it right now. Hi, I'm Ash. I am a wine-drinking, French-obsessed mother of three who loves to DIY everything. And I'm especially obsessed with crocheting and fashion, which is what makes this the perfect project. For this project, you need a couple of rolls of jute, a large crochet hook, like a size N, and 3 skeins of embroidery floss for the tassels. In the colors of your choice, of course. And I picked up a button to use as my closure, and I'm using 2 D-rings and a scrap of leather for the strap, but you can use anything you want. I'm going to get right to the crochet pattern for this bag, but first, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss any of my tutorials. My channel has been growing quickly, and I can't even begin to say how much I appreciate those of you that have subscribed. Okay, on to the crocheting. For this project, I'm using 2 rolls of twisted jute twine that I picked up at my hardware store. I'm also using a size N crochet hook, and to start with, I'm going to be doing a slip knot to start my chain. And I'm going to chain 25 to start. To start off this first row, I'm going to skip the first 2 chains, and I'm going to do a double crochet into the 3rd chain from my hook. Then I'm going to do a double crochet in the next 21 chains. I've come all the way around the first side, and I'm ready to go back down the other side of my chain, and I've already started by doing 1 stitch in this very last chain. Now to go around, I'm going to do 2 more double crochets in this hole. So I'm going to do 2 more double crochets in this last loop here to go around, and I'm going to have a total of 3 in that last loop before I start to go back down the other side of my chain. And now I'll do 22 double crochets down the rest of this chain to get to the bottom of the chain. Now I've gone down both sides of my chain, and I'm ready to start row 2. I'll start by chaining 2, and then I'm going to turn my work. Then I'm going to go into the very same stitch with a double crochet, and that's going to be the first of 22 double crochets going down this row before I start to add my increased stitches. I've come all the way down the side with 22 double crochets, and now I'm going to do 2 double crochets in each of the next 3 stitches to round my corner. And now I'll continue by doing another 22 double crochets all the way down this row to complete this round. And to start the next round, I will again chain 2 and turn my work. But I'm going to switch the stitch up a little bit on this next round, and I'm going to use a front post, a double crochet front post. I'll start the same way by yarning over, but instead of going through these top loops, I'm going to go back into my piece and around this post, coming out the other side. So I've got that post on my hook, and now I'm going to yarn over and pull my yarn through that post and come back out. Yarn over and pull through 2, and then pull through the last 2 loops just like you would finish any normal double crochet. I'll show you one more time. Yarn over, and then put your hook into your piece behind that post, and then yarn over, pull your yarn through, and then finish like a regular double crochet by yarning over and pulling through 2 loops, and then yarning over to pull through the last 2 loops. And you can see that that's creating a nice ridge on my purse. Now this is actually the front side of my bag, so you'll see this nice textured ridge. I'm actually going to count my chain in this row because it works better with post stitches for me, but I'm going to continue to do these front post double crochets all the way down my bag till I have a total of 22 stitches, but that is including that first chain. I'm getting this nice ridge on my bag that looks really great, and I'm ready to start increasing to go around the curve. In the last round we did 2 stitches in every stitch around the curve for that increase, but in this round I'm going to be doing 2 stitches in every other stitch. As the round part of my bag increases, my arc is becoming less severe, which means that in each round, as I increase, I'm going to have those increased stitches farther and farther apart. So to do an increased stitch, I'm going to do that same front post stitch to start with, going in, pulling my yarn through behind the post, and then ending it like a regular double crochet. But now I need to do a second front post stitch around that same post to increase. So I'll yarn over and then go behind that same post that I just crocheted around. I'll finish this stitch like normal, and now I'm going to be able to do just one front post double crochet in my next stitch. And that's my pattern with an increased stitch followed by a regular single stitch. I'm going to do that 2 more times, and then I'll be able to do regular front post double crochets, 22 more of them down the side of my bag to end this round. Chain 2 to start and turn my work, but this round I'm going to do a back post double crochet to continue that ribbing. So I'll yarn over, and this time I'm going to come up from behind and around that post, grab my yarn, pull it through and over that post, and then end like a regular double crochet, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through the last 2 loops. I'll show you one more time. I'm going to yarn over and then come up through my work from the back, and I'm going to go over the post and back down. Grab my yarn, pull it through so it's over the post, and then yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And I'm going to do that the rest of the way, getting 22 total stitches, again including that chain. And now I'm ready to start increasing. In this round, my increased stitches are going to be even farther apart as I go around my curve. So I'll start by doing 2 back post double crochets on the same post, but then I'm going to do a regular back post double crochet in the next 2 stitches before I go back to my increased stitch. So there will be 2 single double crochet stitches between each of my increased stitches, and there will again be a set of 3 of those before I just continue to do my back post double crochets down the rest of my piece. And once I'm finished with 3 sets of my increased back post double crochets, I'm going to just do 22 more back post double crochets down the side of my bag to complete this row. And remember, because we used a chain to start our row and we counted that as a stitch in the last round, this chain at the end will also be a stitch that you need to stitch into. And I really like this ribbing effect that it's creating, so I'm going to do one more round with my post stitches. This time is going to be a front post again, so I'll start by chaining 2, and then I can turn my work and do a front post double crochet around that next post. Again, in this round, that chain counts as a stitch. So I'll continue up my work so that I have a total of 22 front post double crochets, including that chain, and then I can start the increases around my curve. I'm ready to start increasing around my curve now, so I'm going to do 2 of my stitches around the next post, but in this round my increased stitches are going to be every 4th stitch. So there will always be 3 stitches between each of my increased stitches where there is just 1 front post double crochet in each stitch from the row before. I'm going to again do this 3 times so that there's a total of 3 increased stitches, and I'll be ready to go back down the other side. And just like in the past rounds, I will have 22 stitches down the side of my bag to get to the end, and that includes going into that chain that we started the last round with. I'm all done with that round, and you can see that there is a really great texture going on with my bag with those 3 rounds that provided the rib with the front post and the back post stitches. And now I'm going to go back to a regular double crochet. So I'm going to yarn over, and because this is not a stitch around the post, I'm going to go into that very same loop that my chain came out of in this round. So I'll do a double crochet in that stitch, and then I'm going to continue to do double crochets up the side of my row for a total of 22 double crochets before I start to do my increase. And as I come around my curve in this round, I will be doing increased stitches in every 5th stitch. So I will start this with 2 regular double crochets in this next stitch, and then I'm going to do a regular single double crochet in the next 4 stitches before I go back to my increase stitch. And I will do that pattern 3 total times, so I have 3 stitches that have 2 stitches in them, and then I'll be able to go back down the side of my bag again with 22 double crochets to end this round. And my last stitch again goes into the chain from the row before because that row was done around posts. To start the next row, I'll start with 2 chains again, and I'm going to turn my work and again just do regular double crochets for this complete next round. So I'm going to start with a double crochet in that very same stitch that my chain came out of, and that's going to be the first of 22 total double crochets before I start doing my increase stitches around my curve. I'm to my curve in my bag, and I'm going to start with my increase stitches. So I'm going to again do 2 double crochets in this very next stitch, and then I will be doing these increase stitches in every 6th stitch around the curve. So my next 5 stitches are just going to be 1 double crochet in each crochet from the round below, and then I'll do 2 double crochets in that 6th stitch. Again, this round there are going to be 3 sets of that, and when I've completed my 3 sets, I will be able to do 22 double crochets going back down the bag and ending what's going to be the main part of my bag before we finish off the bottom. And here it is, starting to look really great, a nice curved edge, great texture with the ribbing, and I'm going to finish off this bag by doing a nice edge across the bottom, since that's really where my bag is going to close. I'm going to be doing double crochets as I go across the bottom of my bag, so I will again start with chaining 2. And as I go across the bag, I'm going to be doing 2 double crochets in each of my rows as I went around. So there'll be 2 double crochets, and then 2 double crochets in the next row, 2 double crochets in the next row. And when I get to that very center spot, I'm just going to do 1 double crochet where I did that chain, and then 2 double crochets in each of the rows as I continue to go down. So since there were 7 total rows in this project and 1 row of chain, I will have 14 double crochets before I get to my chain, 1 for the chain, and then 14 more for a total of 29 double crochets across the bottom of my row. And for an even cleaner edge, I'm going to do 1 more row of crochet, but this time a single crochet, so I only need to chain once, and then I'm going to do a single crochet in each of the stitches from the row below for a total of 29 single crochets to end this bag. So here's my finished piece before I've assembled it, and it does look a little wonky at times. Jute is a little bit tricky to work with because some parts of the jute are a little bit thicker than others, so what I'm going to do is block this piece. And that's something that a lot of crocheters and knitters do. I'm just going to get it completely wet, stretch it out so that it's even along the edges and a nice round even shape, and then I'm just going to let it dry like that. To put this purse together, I simply folded the bottom up, and then I fold the top down over to make the front flap. I sewed the sides closed with another piece of jute, and I just sewed this button down here and a little bit of an extra piece of jute to go around the button and keep it secure. For the strap, I just sewed these D-rings on with my jute, and I used a piece of scrap leather I already had for the strap. You can use any kind of strap you want, or you can leave it without a strap and turn it into more of a clutch. For the tassels, I decided to use 3 different colors of embroidery floss, and I just alternated the pattern along my bag. I think they add a really fun vibe to my bag, and I'll show you how I made them now. And I'm going to use these 3 colors, DMC, my favorite brand of embroidery floss, 451, 743, and 758. So to make my tassels, I just pull the paper off, and then I'm going to open it up, and then I'm going to cut it in half. I'm going to end up cutting it in half again, but before I do that, I want to pull out enough strands to use to tie these together. So I'll need 2 for each, and I can get 4 out of 1 color, so I need to pull out 4 from each of my little sets of 2 here. reserve those. And then I'm going to cut these in half one more time. So just take my first one, put the string under it, put it right in the middle. Tie it, and these will be the strings that we use to tie it to the bag. And then I just fold it over on itself. Take another string, put my tassel right on top, tie one knot, and then wrap it around again to get a tighter knot. And this time I'll tie a double knot. And these extra loose strings will just become part of the tassel, and I'll end up cutting them off when I'm done. So once I have my bag here, I'm going to probably make some kind of pattern with them. I'm not sure what yet. I'll add in the purple color, and then I'm just going to tie them to the bag using these extra ties on the top, and I'll have my little fringe flat bag. And here is my finished jute bag with tassels. It's got a great natural feel to it, but it has a fun pop of color with the tassels. Don't forget to like this video if you liked my tutorial, and check me out over on Instagram too. I'll be back soon with another tutorial, which you can probably guess will be another purse. See you soon!